Zach is back with a Hulu original review. Today we're reviewing My Valentine, which is another great episode by the Into the Dark series. If you didn't catch it already, My Valentine is based on Valentine's Day for the Into the Dark series, because it's supposed to be based off a holiday. My Valentine is about an abusive ex-boyfriend that ends up showing up to our main character's concert. Basically, he just wants to get back all the rights to his music that they made together when they were together. Because he's a psychopathic narcissist, he'll basically do anything to get his music back, and that includes murder and holding people hostages and battery and assault and you name it. So basically, he's just not a very nice dude if you didn't catch that already. But that's the gist of the plot, so let's go ahead and just jump straight into my opinions. So the acting is actually pretty good. I didn't really have much complaints about the acting in this episode. I even noticed that the antagonist in this particular episode, the crazy ex-boyfriend, is actually an actor from the show Gotham. Alright, so I'm getting the guy's name. Benedict Samuel is our antagonist in the show, and I think he's probably the only one that I need to reference when it comes to actors, because he actually kind of stole the show, at least in my opinion. He played a very charismatic psychopath that just was going off the hinges the entire movie, or show, whatever you want to call it. You could just tell, like, from the get-go that he's just a crazy narcissist, because he takes no responsibility, like, at all. I just missed my finger somehow. No responsibility for his actions, and he just consistently lies the entire show. Like, he just everything that he says that comes out of his mouth is a lie, which is kind of a trait among psychopaths. I would normally say the aesthetics look cool with the neon colors, like the neon pink and green colors that they've been doing in a lot of the Into the Dark episodes, but I feel like they're kind of starting to overuse it now, at least in my opinion. This is just regular nitpicking shit that I kind of do. If I've seen something too many times, I get kind of bored of it, and that's what's happening with me at least. It might not be happening with you. Maybe you like this crazy neon color shit, but for me personally, just getting a little bit bored, especially for the Into the Dark series. But guess what? My main problem with My Valentine is the writing, like all the Into the Dark episodes. Woo! Number one, the show is about a absurdly abusive relationship, and I'll explain to you why that's an issue. Don't get me wrong, I understand the point to this episode. It's just that it doesn't concur with me. It doesn't compute. And the reason is, I think this episode is supposed to relate to people who have been in a ridiculously abusive relationship, and I think this episode is supposed to play off of those fears of being in an abusive relationship and just crank that shit up to 11. And that's what I personally think this episode is meant for, is people who've been in abusive relationships. My issue is, there's been plenty of people who have been in bad relationships, bad breakups, the normal stuff like that, but they don't actually understand that type of really, really abusive, horrible relationships where the guy controls everything you do, or the woman controls everything to do, that type of absurdity. So as an outsider looking in, I don't understand why somebody would be stuck in a relationship like that. You know, if somebody's telling, like for me, at least personally for me, if somebody is saying, okay, you can't do that, you can't do this, I would just like, fuck you. I don't give a shit, I'm walking out. You know what I mean? Like, it's really easy to do that, in my opinion. So I have to get that insider look on why someone would be stuck in an abusive relationship like that, and they would stick around. But they never explain that. A good example of a show that actually gets you to understand very bizarre and alien sort of ideas, it's a show called Dahmer on Dahmer, which is, they basically interview Dahmer and he explains why he would eat, rape, torture people, and have sex with their dead bodies. All these crazy ideas, these weird things that he's doing to people that normal people of society would just never do, ever. It's just completely... It's so alien, it's so weird, like nobody, that's what makes him so strange. That's why Dahmer is known like as the serial killer of history, because all the things that he does is so horrific and almost, I guess you'd say, horror movie-like, that no one would actually do that. But in this show, they actually explain why he did the things that he did, and he gives his insider look on why he did those things, and it makes a person like me, a normie who does not have sex with dead bodies, it makes people like me understand why he would do those things from his perspective. And that's what I needed in this particular episode, but because it's an Into the Dark episode, They don't have good writing. They don't have good storytelling. They don't do anything other than surface level bullshit. And then I, somebody who's an outsider looking into an abusive relationship, just kind of goes, I don't get it. So because I didn't understand these ideas, and I didn't understand why you'd be in an abusive relationship, and all these, you know, like just an abusive ex-boyfriend that just beats you and makes you do whatever he wants, I don't understand why someone would be in that situation. So when I watched this episode, I didn't understand our main character, because that is kind of what defines her in this episode, is that she is an abused woman that is trying to get out of a relationship, or trying to keep away from this guy, and she has this anxiety of being around him because she was stuck in a relationship for so long with him. Because I didn't understand these ideas of being stuck inside a horrific relationship and not being able to get out, I didn't sympathize with our main character. I didn't understand her because she encapsulates an abused woman in a horrific relationship. And that's kind of her, that's her character in the show. She doesn't have much character other than that. So it just kind of, I just didn't understand her as a person. That's kind of what I got out of it. I didn't understand her, so I was just kind of along for the ride without really understanding anything deeper about her, or why did these things happen, or why she did that, or why did she stick around for so long, or how she get caught in that relationship. I have no clue. I don't know. Second issue about the episode. They keep cutting back to a group of friends that has nothing to do with the narrative and takes us away from the tension of what's happening in the episode. And that was freaking annoying. I actually didn't understand why these characters were even in the episode in the first place. Like, if they just ripped them out of the episode would be better. That's just my opinion. It would be better. There was no reason to have them. They weren't part of the main narrative. They had no plot in the episode. They were just basically these people that were just kind of fucking in a car. So yeah, like when there was tension happening in the episode, they just kind of go, oh yeah, I guess it's getting a little too tense here, and they would cut back to these people screwing in a car, and I don't understand why they're in the episode. Like I'm trying to think of an idea why they would be in there, but for the life of me, I can't. I just can't. I can't figure it out. Maybe it's because it's Valentine's Day and sex has to do with Valentine's Day. I have no clue because they're kind of screwing in this car. But I don't understand. I don't know who's writing these episodes. And there's such simple things that they could fix that make the episode better. But they do the most novice problems like that. And maybe it's because the episode wouldn't be that long if they didn't, like, have filler parts. So I feel like maybe they were just there for, like, fluffing up the episode. But other than that, fluffing up... I'd rather have a short episode that's good than a long episode with a bunch of fluff in it. That's just personally for me. I hate fluff. In the end, all the messages they were trying to portray in this episode kind of fall flat. They didn't really make any sense. They didn't convey the ideas very well. The tension and the horror was completely mediocre at best, and that's all I can really say about the horror. I mean, the horror wasn't that great, but then they kept cutting back to their buddies and friends that were having sex in a car, having a good old time, and that just sucked all the tension that was already kind of not there. So I can't really give any credit for that. The acting was okay. It's the best I can say about this episode. The acting was alright. And the music pissed me off. And that's the episode. Sorry. I'm just going to go ahead and give My Valentine a D+. It has okay acting, so I'm giving it a D+ for that. But other than that, everything else was mediocre. It was not that great. It was a pretty lukewarm episode. There was nothing great. It was just boring, in my opinion. It was boring. There wasn't a lot of tension. I didn't understand what they're trying to portray. It was kind of a mess, in my opinion. So that's why I give it a D+. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and do all of that YouTube business. I watch shitty shows so you guys don't have to, so please go ahead and click that like button if you like this commentary and my review on this episode. And thank you guys so much for watching, and see ya!